Welcome to Granny Peach's Kitchen with Chris and Blair.
Today we're making my old red velvet cake.
In actuality, it is not Chris's old time red velvet cake. It's Granny Peach's old favorite red velvet cake. Okay, guys, here we come. We're gonna start with 3 cups of granulated sugar. And we're going to mix that in with 3 cups of butter. We're going to mix it till it fluffs. And then we're going to go over and we're going to take 3 cups of sifted all-purpose flour, which will make like a cake flour. It's just fluffier. And actually, it's less than 3 cups when you do all-purpose. However, but you can use cake flour and get to the 3 cups, or you can sift it twice as I just stated. And you're going to take we got a half a teaspoon of salt, and you're going to add that to the flour. We got a half a teaspoon of baking powder, any baking powder, but just baking powder. And we're going to put that in, and we're going to have a 1/3 cup of Hershey's cocoa, unsweetened cocoa, and we're going to mix that in, a 1/3 cup of that, and we're going to mix that in with the flour, and we're going to sift 2 more times. So it'll be altogether 4 times of the flour and 2 times of the ingredients that's mixed in. We're going to have 6 eggs, large eggs that is. The butter that I have here is unsalted butter. It's salted butter. But if you use unsalted butter, I want you to use a teaspoon of salt as opposed to, because you do need salted butter for this. We're going to have the red coloring. We're going to use 1 ounce, and 1 ounce is equivalent to 2 tablespoons of red food coloring. We're going to have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. No, it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I apologize. And then we're going to use a half a teaspoon of almond, which is pure almond and pure vanilla extract. We got a cup of milk that once you get your stuff mixed in, you're going to interchange from milk to flour, and we're going to end with flour. Now, for our frosting, we're going to use 3½ cups or 1 pound of powdered sugar, 1 Philadelphia cream cheese or any premium cream cheese you choose, 1 stick of butter, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm looking around to see if I missed anything. I did not. This is called a sifter. I've already sifted with this, so it's some powder residue left on here. However, I just wanted to show you what the sifter looks like. It's an old-fashioned sifter. I don't know if they make it any different. I just kept this one. It's over 30 years old. So this is what we have. I will put all of the ingredients in the description, and when it's time to cream, we'll be right back, and I'll show you how to do these things. Okay, guys, so we're going to first start with taking the butter and the 3 cups of sugar, the 3 sticks of butter and 3 cups of sugar, and we're going to blend those. And I'll be right back to show you what that's going to look like. Okay, guys, so this is how it should look when you blend the butter and the sugar together. And then you're going to go 1 egg at a time. Every ingredient that you're using should be room temperature. Make sure you don't get any eggs in there. And you just blend each egg at a time. I will be back when I get all 6 eggs in. You make sure you mix them very well in order to have them 1 at a time. That is a very important step with most baking. So after each egg, it should be blended up where you can't see any egg. It should be blended up like this, and then you go to the next egg. Do not go to the next egg and it's still egg in your mixture. Thanks. All right, everybody. So all of the eggs are incorporated in. And so now it's time to do the vanilla, the almond, and the food color. And what I'm going to do when I mix those in is I'm going to stir those in really good. This vanilla is so thick, it's like an oil. Here's the almond. Uh-oh. Blooper.
Ooh.
Put the rest of that in. Uh-oh, I didn't even drop that in there. I hope it didn't break. Okay, so, and we're going to do the red food color, or dye, as you want to call it. And I'm going to mix that in all together.
Guys, this gonna look good.
So, once we get all of these together, I'm going to mix these up really well, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, this is after all of the food coloring and extracts have been added in. This is what you should have. This is what it should look like. I mixed that in well for a couple minutes. Now we're going to take the baking powder, which is a half a teaspoon. That was unsalted butter, so I'm going to use a teaspoon, as I told you in the description and as I explained to you why you would need another half of a teaspoon. You would need 1 whole teaspoon if it's unsalted butter. And then you're going to take your 1/3 cup cocoa powder and you're going to mix this in. And then we're going to take my old handy dandy sifter, and here I'm going to mix these a little bit, and then I'm going to sift. I want a big clump of stuff in the beginning. I just want all of it mixed together. I didn't even think about that before I got started. Mix it together pretty good. The sifter is going to get it the rest of the way, so don't worry, and then you can always do it after, but I just like to mix it a little bit here so that when you get it in there, it's all done. So you just take it, pour it in the sifter. Some will fall through. Never mind, don't worry, don't fret. And then you just turn the handle and keep going, keep going, keep going.
Oh, that's nice.
And pat it a little bit and keep going until it's all gone, until it's all... Blair, you want to see how it's going? Going, going, going.
What the?
Okay, okay. And then we're going to do it again. Okay, guys, so that was our first time sifting. We're going to pour it back in the mixing bowl. Uh-oh, we don't want to lose anything. So we're going to pour it back in the mixing bowl. Use something, because if you don't, it'll do what I just did. I wasn't paying attention. I'm watching Blair because he's taping as well. He wanted to tape it for his
YouTube channel and TikTok.
His YouTube channel and TikTok. He's been begging me since his birthday to make him this cake. So, long story short, we got to do a second sift anyway. So, here goes. We put it in there. We sift again until everything is out of this container. And that'll be a second sift. What sifting does is it fluffs the cake. It fluffs the flour and whatever else it's using. It mixes it together very, very well. And it fluffs it as it does that.
That's cool.
I haven't bought a sifter in over 30 years, so I don't know if they even make them like this anymore, or if they do, they, do. But you do it until it's all gone. You see this, Blair?
Mm-hmm.
It's all gone. It may be crumbs or something left, but those crumbs, don't you worry, you throw those crumbs out. But all of it is in there sifted now. And when you do get your sifter, ladies and gentlemen, please don't leave it in the water. Wash it immediately, rinse it, and let it air dry or dry it out, and then let it continue to air dry. Now what you're going to do is you're going to alternate between your sifted ingredients and your milk. So you can start with the milk. Start with the dry and end with the dry. Mix this up and I'll be back. Okay, we've already mixed the first flour in. Then we're going to mix some milk in, just a little bit at a time, guys. This is not a rush, and we're not in a marathon. So you just do a little bit at a time of each one until it's all blended together. And end with flour, please. Hey guys, we're back. I forgot to tell y'all what the Crisco was for. That's for greasing our pans, and we're going to flour and grease our pans. I don't use Baker's Joy because they're a hit or miss. One day you might hit, one day you might miss. I don't take those chances. So I butter or grease with Crisco, buttered Crisco, which I prefer the buttered Crisco, my pans, and make sure that I get them all the way through. I only had two Wilton pans. So I'm going to butter those and butter one of my spring form pans that I do my cheesecakes with. I've greased all of those very well, and then I sprinkle powder flour, all purpose, in them to make sure to keep my cakes from Blair, are you recording? Come on.
My time is end of my recording. Recording stopped.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and flour ours and go from there. And you just take a little bit of flour in there. And I don't want to use the hand that I greased it with because you'll have a greasy outside of your pan. And you just get it around in there until everything is floured. And you can go back over your other pan, but you knock all of the excess out. Sorry for all of the extra noise, but you want to make sure the whole pan is covered with the flour and the oil. So guys, as far as Blair is concerned, we went on and finished putting grease or oil or butter flavored Crisco, and then we floured them. But we're gonna stop. See that little area? It looks like it's a little not so floured. We're gonna hit that area again. So this is what it should look like. Of course, we're not going up this high because the other ones are only about 1.5 inches. So they usually take about two and a half, maybe 3 cups max of cake mix. So and also this same formula can be used for cupcakes, red velvet cupcakes. If you have a lot of people, and especially with coronavirus going on, you don't want anybody else to bother with your stuff, you can make cupcakes where nobody's touching anybody's stuff except for the cook. And if that's the case, and then every blue moon you'll have where you see this part right here is not covered at all, that means that it's not grease there or butter or whatever. So you just go back over it really quick, hit it, and you're done. Okay, for Blair's people, we went on and Criscoed these pans, and when we Criscoed them, we took and floured them lightly, and we're going to evenly distribute this cake mix between the three cakes. We're going to start with 2 cups each and wait for them to settle a little bit, and then we'll go to the next to see, so we can make sure we're evenly going to make 3 layers. And I'll be right back. Okay guys, so we're going to take and bounce the cakes a little bit, shake them around a little bit. They ended up being about 2.5 cups a piece, so they can equally be about the same size. You can bounce them, you can hit them, you can do whatever. And then we're going to put them in the oven on 325 for about 30-35 minutes, and then I want you to check at that point. If you have an electric stove, check at about 28 minutes or so, and use a wood kebab stick because it's longer, or use a toothpick, whichever, and see if it's nothing left on it, pull it on out. But if it is something left on it, you go and you check every 5 minutes after if it's almost done. Okay, guys, you see where I went on it. I put a couple holes in the cake. You just go around the cake because the pan will let you do what you need to do. I need for you to go ahead and just go around the pan. You don't have to put a knife or anything in there. It's going to come off just as easy. See how that worked?
That was good.
So I'm going to go ahead. I was supposed to mix the stuff up while I was in the oven, but I got a little lazy. So give me a moment and we'll be back. Okay, guys, so I just creamed the butter and the cream cheese, the Philadelphia cream cheese together. Please use premium cream cheese, not an imitation cream cheese, because it'll give it like a nasty pasty taste. I have a teaspoon here of vanilla extract, and I'm trying to get it all out of there because it's a little oily, so it's thick. I'm gonna mix this in, and I'm gonna do a little bit of sugar, powdered sugar at a time. Give me a moment. Okay, guys, so we're going to take a little bit of powdered sugar at a time and add it over into the creamed cheese and butter. And we'll be back after I get finished showing you how to do that. Okay, guys, here's the frosting. You just put a big lump on at one time so that you're not getting the crumbs all over the place. You put as much on there as you can and rub that around.
That looks so good.
Yeah, Blair has been begging for this one for a long time. And you go ahead and finish this layer, and then we're gonna go put the other layer on, and I'll be right back.
Ooh, looks like paradise.
Yeah, guys, and thank y'all for subscribing.
Yep.
Well, these two have already started eating, so it must be pretty good. Excuse the rest of the kitchen, y'all. Gotta wash the rest of these dishes that's left over, and I've washed a lot of them that we've been working with, but can you talk?
Yeah, man.
What you say, Blair Bear?
Double thumbs up.
I can't hear you, monkey.
Double thumbs up.
Double thumbs up.
And thank you guys for subscribing who subscribed. And non-subscribers, thank you too. And go subscribe.
Mm-hmm.